allocated.
That were
allocated to the university for transparency.
And that is what we should have, because I remember vividly that some time ago, I read that the Southeast is a bit not keen to it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So, and they said something was going to, and I wasn't too happy, because in terms of enthusiasm, what was coming from the Southeast was so. I don't know what the situation now, whether that we have that kind of balance.
I think the schools were blamed for
the schools. That is what I'm saying. Yeah. So the fact is that I want to see that level of transparency, so that many people believe in the fact that this money is actually going to the schools and the people they are meant to. Apart from that, it's fantastic.
But another thing is, how is NELFund able to identify students that actually need it the most?
That is where the school comes in. The schools will do their background check on all these students. Okay. And know those ones who really need this money. Because the rich man's son cannot come and say,
exactly, I need.
Another thing I think I'm also worried is that some people who are even benefiting, that is the beneficiaries, are not even coming out to say, we are even getting this.
Okay, like testimony.
Yes. That is where NELFund is not just about doing press conferences and things like this. It's about getting some of these students to come and tell us,
to testify that I'm a beneficiary.
I'm a beneficiary of this.
Or is it something to be ashamed of?
I don't know, because
it's not something to be ashamed of. You should be excited about it.
That as a student, I got it.
Exactly.
Even when I was in school, I know how I tried for me to get bursary. How much was the bursary?
Yeah, I tried to.
Whether I told you. Then when I tried to. We tried to get bursary.
It wasn't easy.
I tried that of NDDC. Yeah. I tried my state. You understand? So, and then the only thing that even I enjoyed was when I was in primary school during Chakonde's time, free. Yeah. You understand? So if we can have beneficiaries coming out to come and testify, no matter what people will say on social media, it shouldn't be their business.
Exactly.
Their own is at least they are benefiting. Because people will say there's nothing this government is doing for me, but somebody outside there in one school or schools are already benefiting from this. So they should be able to come out. These schools are already bringing, just like NCKN said, I think those schools should be able to come. We need to see that transparency. The list of schools that are benefited.
Yes.
And even this, they should be able to get one or two people on their website. Let's see Mr. A, Mrs. B.
Student B from this faculty, from this university.
Yeah, exactly. And they might even, juggle it. It might not be somebody from that particular state.
Exactly.
Okay, it might be somebody from another state who is coming to testify.
Yes, exactly.
You understand?
Very good. Great point. Great point.
Makes a lot of sense.
The basic fact is that I don't know. Basically, when I went to their website, I think the website was only meant for people who want to access the funds.
Okay.
If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I saw logging in, put your of course I couldn't have access. But there should be
except you want to do.
Yes, I want to. So I would think that there should be a sub.
Okay.
A sub website probably that is
accessible to everybody for transparency.
For transparency.
Just go there and be able to access, if you understand. Then the last worry for me, is that 2 years after you left school, you start paying back. Venga.
Okay.
You know that 2 years after leaving Nigerian university, there is 90% possibility that you won't get a job.
I might want to disagree with you on that.
Why?
I might want to disagree with you because I feel like once you get out of school and you have what to offer,
where is the job?
With good grades and you have what to offer.
I think even after that 2 years,
if you don't have,
that is why they are saying that if you don't have, after 2 years, you have to go back to them.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, go back
to them.
That's why I was
going for an extension.
Maybe not extension, but for them to know that you can't pay back.
It happens across the globe. If you go to the United States, most of the schools in the United States, especially those that go to school, most of the students are through loans, if you understand.
Yeah. But another issue I want to ask is NELFund going to be tracking these students based on performance in school? Because I believe there are some students who are truants.
Okay.
Or they just give it to you based on you are in school, we give you the money for the school.
No, it has to do with the school.
And also the monthly upkeep.
Yes, I'm sure they have a way of tracking most of
because that matters a lot.
Yes, it matters a lot. as a way, they should have a way of tracking the academic performance of the students through the school. I want to believe that would be a periodic report from the school
exactly
to NEFON to make sure that these guys are not just getting the one and using for what they are supposed to be.
Yes.
But they are actually. But there was a question that was, if you read the story also, there was a question that was asked.
Okay, just hold that thought. We have a caller, Chris. Chris, thank you so much for joining us on Journalist Hangout.
Chris, that is not one.
Chris. Chris.
Hello, a very good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you. Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes. Please, I'm interested in the present topic, student loan.
All right, let's talk.
I have a daughter in one of the universities. She's applied for this right from the onset.
Okay.
And there's even some confirmation and all that she has done. But up till now, nothing. I tried to reach some people in the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
Nobody knows how to reach their funds. I went to my Tama where I was told they are likely to be. Paraded all the places, set fund and all that. They said people have been coming to look for Nelfund. No way. So I would appreciate if Nelfund could put some transparency in this, project. One, they should be able to reach students who have applied. And the catch there is that if we have even gone ahead to pay for her second semester, so if you pay now, you know, like the Nigerian system, it's going to be difficult for you to begin to apply for reform. So why is it that Nelson?
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I believe we're sure Nelson is listening.
They are listening,
and he'll take note of
what feedback is very, very
feedback is very, very important.
What I also have to say is that there's no way that NEFON can be able to approve all applications.
Yes.
That's something we should be very, very careful about. But I saw the number of people they say applied, and the number of people they say have been able to get these loans as it were. And I'm sure there must have been certain criteria put in place. But it is not going to be 100% that whenever you apply, you must definitely get.
Exactly.
So that could be one of the reasons why. But there should be the mechanism of reaching back to him.
And
telling him that
your application was not approved because of this. So that is the feedback.
Exactly.
That is the feedback mechanism we'll be talking about.
Exactly. All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. When terror groups continue to strike helpless communities, the call for justice becomes louder than the cries of fear. In Zamfara State, bandits abducted 43 women and children from Kakidawa ward in Gidangoga district in Maradun local government area. According to reports, the heavily armed bandits stormed the village at about 2 a.m. on Sunday, leaving people scampering for safety. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has vowed to bring an end to terrorism in the country, particularly the Lakurawa group. Now let's hear from the Army Chief.
Actually visited two formations. That's the one in the Northwest, 8th Division, and the Theatre of Operations in the Northeast. Well, basically, I was there to speak with my officers and soldiers and to make them realize that there's need for us to end all these forms of insecurity in Nigeria. And I made the bold to tell them that I'm going to do things differently, and I expect better results going forward. We are eating them hard on this, at this end, that's Nigerian end. So we expect them, because what is expected is that once we eat them hard at this end, they will flee to Niger Republic. So now that the Niger Republic is coming on board, that means very soon, Lakurawa will be a thing of the past.
All right, let's bring the conversation home. Asuko, bandits abducting women, there's every time abduction. Why is this so recurrent?
Well, I try to, do my little bit of findings, and from what I gathered, they say some of those bandits, they have farms, and when they have farms like that, this is harvest period.
Okay.
So what they are looking for hands, people who will go there and work for them. Particularly for this one, they were adopted since Sunday.
Yes.
They've not reached out to anybody concerning ransom. They've not called the police, say they are on their trail. We don't know how far they've gone since Sunday. So, but from the little investigation I gathered, they said when it comes to this period, that is what they usually do. They adopt these women and children because they went there with heavily armed, knowing that at least the men and the women they will get, those ones will be able to work in the farm, for their own farms.
Exactly.
You know, because they deal into so many, crops. So when they don't ask for ransom like that, most times, from what I heard, most times that is what they use them for.
As slaves for them?
Yes, for them.
Laborers?
Yes, And so when they do that, at the end, what they usually do, they either leave them or marry some of them. So it's a very pathetic situation. And we hope that this particular area, from what I heard, is not somewhere you can just drive into. It's kilometers away from the state capital. The road is not good. So I'm very sure that even the police that are saying that they are on their trail, it will take them days before they can even get there. And even before you get there, there are camps of bandits before you get to this Maradu.
Do they even have networks in that area? All of those.
That is to tell you, they said this place is very far from the state capital. So if somewhere is very far that you start thinking about the miles that you will drive, even the police too, they will also think, because some of these areas are ungoverned. So things can happen. And don't forget, this area, there was a time students were kidnapped some years back, And after that, we didn't hear anything. So I feel the government will have to find a way. The ungoverned spaces in Nigeria is just too much. But how do we solve this problem? I think the traditional rulers will have to help. The National Security Advisor will also have to step in.
Local government.
The DSS, the local government. In this area, they have a senator. They have House of Rep members.
Sure.
So it's something that everybody can...
Collective responsibility.
Yes, can work together. Because sometimes these areas, when bandits come like that, there are two things. It's either you join them or they kill you. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is why most of the areas in Zamfara, you have more bandits camps than any other thing. So even for the police to even get to this local government, the number of camps that they will be crossing is not easy. So it's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
And I'm very sure the governor would is not overwhelmed. But I know he will know the problems, and he would have passed this information to the right authorities.
CKN, this is not the first time we've been hearing we will crush them, we will do this, Lakurawa, no. But now that the chief of army is saying it again, how assuring or reassuring is this?
Well, the new chief of army staff, General Oluyede, has his work cut out for him. Very, very well cut out for him. And as rightly said, every successful army chief, or defense chief, when he's appointed, that is what they always say. In fact,
they talk tough.
I remember really when General Buratai was appointed the chief for army staff, and he said within 3 months, he said within 3 months, he was going to wipe out Boko Haram and the rest of it. Some of us were sat here and we were laughing. Until he left, he didn't do that. And he was one of the longest serving chief of army staff. In fact, if not the longest serving chief of army staff. Now, when it comes to issue of insecurity, banditry, kidnapping, even war, the most vulnerable are the children and women.
Exactly.
So because they are very, very soft targets. So most of these people go for them because he's talking about the bandits based wrong, having a gun. Once they are coming, the men who had the inkling of it will run into the bush. They quickly run into the bush. What with a 2-year-old child?
Exactly.
A woman, some of them are pregnant, some are very old women, and where will they run to? Where are they running? Before they even move an inch, they've caught up with them.
Exactly.
So that is why they are always the most vulnerable. And Zamfara, Maiduguri used to be the epicenter of insecurity in Nigeria. Yes. Now it has moved to Zamfara, and that's why we should be asking, what is the problem with Zamfara?
Let's not forget Niger State as well. Yeah.
Even, especially Zamfara. It is what Niger State happens once in a while. You see them going, pick up, do some bets. Zamfara has been so consistent. And I want to believe that, I just want to believe that was one of the reasons why the president picked the former governor of Zamfara State as the Minister of State Defense. And I remember how many times of recent he has been to the state and he has given assurance that this issue of banditry and resting. In fact, there was time he went there, he said he was going to make sure that the thing is because he spent about 2 or 3 days there and left with that service till today.
And he's back in
Abuja. And so the military should have their work cut out. And the issue, as I've always said, is not just putting boots on the ground.
Okay.
Our security agencies should be able to build a high level of intelligence.
How intelligent is our intelligence?
That is always, you know that's the question.
Yes.
How intelligent is our intelligence? Because take it in as much as Asuko said, there were remote places, they are risky. But for goodness sake, we have local government, we have chiefs within the.
I believe DSS is always in every local government.
There's no local government in Nigeria where you don't have DSS.
DSS, exactly.
NSCDC. Yes, those two. Then there is no local government out of the 774 that would not have a DPO or divisional police. So how come that most of this intelligence don't get to them?
All right.
And this guy just strike and make it.
All right, gentlemen, we need to go on this quick break. But when we return, I'm going to be asking you your opinion, actually. Is the Nigerian army overstressed with all the plenty military operations going on? We'll answer that question when we return from this break. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout.
There is a small problem. Despite all the entertaining ads we've created for you, some of you still haven't tried our services. Come on. First of all, we are a licensed microfinance bank. Sorry about that. For instance, you can open a business account with us and get our POS with it. It's good for your business.
99.99% reliable.
I love it. Our card, it dey work.
My money no dey hang.
You can open a business or personal account with us in minutes.
Ai na bude na daga wannan kujera.
Our customer care is available. Abi? So, when it comes to reliability, security, convenience, and speed, you only need one bank.
Join millions of happy customers. Download the MoneyPoint app or find an agent near you to get started.
This ad is a MoneyPoint ad. Don't forget that.
And cable, great quality, now with the new look.
All right, welcome back. If you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have CKN and Asukwa James. Asukwa James, before we went on that break, I asked you your opinion due to the, many military operations going on, banditry, Boko Haram. Do you think the Nigerian army is overstressed?
Well, I would not want to give them a low mark.
Okay.
You understand that? When I mean a low mark, saying that they are overstretched. Because we have one of the potent military force, okay, in sub-Saharan Africa, whether you like or you don't, you know. We have so many operations. Yes, they have so many operations.
Yes.
My concern is that these operations are in the civil spaces. And these civil spaces are supposed to be manned by the police.
Yes.
You understand?
In charge of internal security.
They are the ones, for the Nigerian army, they are supposed to be the ones guiding our borders,
territorial.
making sure that it is only when we know that the police is very, very overwhelmed.
Okay.
That is when we can. Well, right now, what we are having is we are having these terrorist zones in virtually all the regions.
Sure.
Okay. And that is why the Nigerian army seems to be overstretched.
Okay.
But I'm not sure they're overwhelmed.
Okay.
In terms of how much the resources we are spending to curtail these terrorist attacks or terrorist operations within us, that is where you say, oh, it looks like they're overwhelmed or they're overstretched. Okay. But they are not overwhelmed. Okay. I feel that the Nigerian army can deal with this. Okay. But what we need more is, just like CKN said, more intelligence for them to be able to tackle these people. Because, for instance, if it's happening in Sokoto, it's happening in Zamfara, and they happen to know, they get the right target, and people are giving them the right information, they will deal with this situation.
Sure.
Okay, and who can provide this? It's either the residents, the local government chairman, the traditional rulers, who are all there, because they are the locals.
They know the terrain.
Yes.
They know all of this.
And so when you pass credible information to the Nigerian army or to the military, they'll be able to deal with this situation.
Okay.
So they are overstretched but not overwhelmed.
Okay.
Okay. Because the police are the ones that are supposed to be doing this job.
This job.
They're the ones that are supposed to, and once it comes to these terrorists, you know, they have to find a way of allowing the Nigerian army to just take the front role. You know, so I feel we can deal with this situation. All we need is just correct intelligence.
Correct
intelligence. And once we have it, we'll be able to.
As a sign off, the fact is that the problem we have is that this is not a conventional war. The military is used to conventional war. If it's a war between Nigeria and Cameroon, we go all out to deal with the situation. If it's combat to combat, the Nigerian army have been trained for that. But this hit and run and
asymmetrical
becomes a very, very, very big challenge for me. And secondly, which is why I'm talking of tax. When we talk, they say, "Are you civilians? What do you know?" But I believe that probably we need to check tactics. The way we are going about it probably is the problem. Oh, we have a hit in Zamfara, we rush to Zamfara. Now, there is what is called enclave, what we might call an enclave of devil, if I use that word. Now, this should be simultaneous attack.
Multi-pronged, like different.
If we are ready, even if we don't have all the men, but don't forget, it's not just Nigerian army. We have the Air Force.
Air Force.
Okay. The Air Force is there. I just read a few days ago that we are getting about 60 new aircraft or whatever, fighter jets and everything. Now, the essence of this is there should be a collaborative effort between our security agencies. Yes. Part of the problem we're having, I'm talking of intelligence, is also intelligence sharing, which our security agencies are not doing.
Okay, the Air Force and the Army.
Army gets their own, they keep to themselves. Air Force get their, they keep to themselves. Police get theirs. Everybody wants to take the glory.
But I thought the Chief of Defense Staff should be able to coordinate that.
That is where the Chief of Defense Staff and the NSA comes into play.
Okay.
So that can be able to have a collaborative effort. If we tackle these guys, if we say today, and let me also use this opportunity. The way we go about, our military talk too much. Our military talk too much.
Should there be media silence?
There should be media silence, for goodness sake. Because most of these guys breed on the media.
Yes.
That's why they have social. What do you think? Part of the
look at what you are watching. Look at what you are watching.
Yes, look at what,
because they know that people will watch.
They are media crazy. Why do you think that Canada succeeded most of the time in
propaganda?
The past? Propaganda. When you put it a small thing, they put it on social media, and there's a view. If the military, it is in Nigeria that I know that military want to go on an operation. They would have told the whole Nigeria that the next week we are going to Zamfara too. Who does that? Nobody does that.
Operation needs to happen.
So those are the kind of things. I think the military should speak less. Okay. When I say military now, I don't mean just Nigerian army.
That is
exactly. We should speak less.
Speak less. Then also, I think it's high time we start equipping the police enough.
Okay.
The police was destroyed by the military.
Yes, exactly.
Because there used to be a very, very potent military unit in the past. It used to be called Kill and Go. Do you know the days of you are very young?
I've heard
of
that.
The mobile police force.
Yeah, the mobile police force
used to be one of the most fatal aspects of the. I remember when we were in secondary school, in university, our riot is not quite by this kind of police we are seeing. When there is mobile police force, they send.
And when once they come out, you know what.
Once mobile police come, it's just like soldier is coming. With the students, we respect ourselves.
All right, we're moving to our next topic, but just in 1 minute.
Yes.
Another major one is poverty and illiteracy.
I agree.
It's fueling. What should the northern governors be doing as a matter of urgency
northern
to change the
narrative? There was something I wanted to say in the course of this thing that I forgot. Out of school children in the north.
Exactly.
Out of school children in Nigeria is over 20 million now. And I'll tell you that not less than 80% is from the north. So what happens? The devils, we have always used that word, the devils find work for an idle hand. The situation where you see children between the ages of 9, 10, up to 15, 16, 18, roaming the streets every morning, using the Amajiri system and going around begging. For goodness sake, somebody that is hungry, that cannot find food, if you give him 2,000 naira, 1,000 naira, he will go into the bush and do whatever. So, former president Olusegun Obasanjo said something some months back. He said if the out-of-school children system in the north is not tackled, that this is a time bomb that in the next 5-10 years, what will happen in Nigeria is not something else. So the governors of the north, they should be listening.
We saw
they should
part
be watching.
of it during the August protest.
You saw what happened during the protest.
We saw
most of the guys that were destroyed.
Exactly.
Those that were arrested, 90% of them, 90% were from the north.
Exactly.
Yes.
We need to do something as soon as possible. All right, let's move straight to a third conversation. Charity, they say, begins at home, but for some, it begins abroad. Such may be the case for the newly elected leader of the Conservative Party in the United Kingdom, Kemi Badenoch, who has chosen to disparage Nigeria, her root. Vice President Kashim Shettima has condemned remarks made by Badenoch regarding the state of things in Nigeria. Vice President Shettima believes that she misrepresented the true progress and potential of the country. In a statement, the Vice President described Badenoch's comments as unfortunate and misleading, citing other political figures and how they represent their countries with pride, while pointing out that Nigeria remains a vital player in regional and global contexts. He urged her to drop her Nigerian name if she is not proud of that. Now let's hear from the Vice President.
Rishi Sunak, the former British Prime Minister, is originally from India. A very brilliant young man. He never denigrated his nation of ancestry, nor poured venoms on India. Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the British Labour or Conservative Party. We are proud of her, in spite of her efforts at denigrating her nation of origin. She is entitled to her own opinions. She has even every right to remove the Kemi from her name. But that does not underscore the fact that the greatest black nation on earth is the nation called Nigeria.
All right, let's bring the conversation home. Let's not forget that that's not a recent video, actually. But looking at what the Vice President is saying, Asoko, first of all, what's your comment? What he said concerning
the Vice President's comment? This one is recent.
Yes.
This one is recent. Is the one, the Kemi's one.
Okay.
You know, I don't know how the thing just made it into the media, but the thing is, from my own opinion, I feel that if people have the opportunity of going out outside Nigeria, there's no point saying, denigrating your own country, particularly the country of your birth. Because you have brothers, you have family members. One day, you will still come back home.
Sure.
They will say home is home. So, whether from our comments, okay, I I know she went through a lot in terms of experiences when she was young. So I was also looking at the people, some Nigerians who in the past, okay, even in that same, because she was saying something about the tales of horror when she was young and she was here. And that maybe she felt a lot of, she actually experienced so many things that, you know, she can't say. But I keep saying that even in the UK, some Nigerians also take their children and they lost their children there. You've forgotten Damilola Taylor.
Yes,
May his blessed soul rest in peace. He was killed in the UK, but by two brothers.
Yes.
Okay, but nobody said, oh, the UK is bad. Or the UK people that are here will say, oh, I'm in Nigeria. Nobody said that. Everybody finds solution. They look for how peaceful ways in tackling them, you know, problems. You know, so I think from what she said wasn't right. I know by now even Davido too.
Yes,
the time he was also saying investors should not come to Nigeria. No, people should mind the kind of things they say, particularly when you know that you are a major influencer. Okay. If you are out there, comport yourself. Some Nigerians will go travel abroad. The next thing they do, they go online. They start abusing Nigeria, putting it on social media. You don't know those things are the things that even the people out there, they are looking at. And then they will begin to call when they see you, over when you travel there, they will begin to say, they saw something XYZ on social media. So is this how your country is?
Or do you think her comments? Do you think her comments were just meant for politics?
No, she spoke from her heart.
You think she spoke
from her heart?
And it's not.
And it's not the first time she has said it. It's not the first time, you know. And I can bet you there will be a day she will still come back to Nigeria. And I hope by then she will eat her words, because this is your country, you know. Whether your name is Kemi, except maybe like they have said, maybe by the time she changes her name, or Kemi is Kemi. Okay, there's no white man that is Kemi.
Okay, I'll throw that question to you. All the negative comments by Kemi Badenoch, in your opinion, do you think she did that just to win the hearts of the British people?
I personally believe it's political.
That she didn't
I believe it's political. She just don't want to be politically relevant and look for opportunities to get the ears of the British people and white people.
Yeah, just to get them.
Just to be able to get their... that's what she's doing. It's just like what Donald Trump did before the election. You know, Donald Trump, his basic campaign was immigration. And Europe and other, quote unquote, I don't know which one, if I use civilized, they'll say, are we not civilized? So, that is one of the serious problem within the West now is issue of immigration. So anybody that be able to talk about that, but the irony of it is that she is a child of an immigrant.
Yes.
She's a child of an immigrant. His father is a Nigerian. She went to ISS in Lagos here.
Yeah.
So if you're talking of even people, when he was talking the experience, which experience? Did she go to Jakonde school? Did she go to? Did she go to? Did she go to Ogudu primary school? Did she go to other secondary school? She went to ISS. Do you know the school she went to? Ivy school.
Ivy school.
So there's not the way they were sharing candy and chocolate and the rest of them.
She didn't go to where they are sharing kulikuli.
She didn't go to where they were drinking gari and sharing kulikuli and so the fact is that I think that I would just say, I personally would say we should ignore her. Personally.
No.
Yes, that's for me. It is not by force that you must identify with Nigeria, for goodness sake. I remember really what the chairman of NITCOM said, Abike Dabre, that when even before she became the Conservative Party, there was a time they tried to reach out to her. She just ignored them and the rest of them. It's not every, if you don't want to identify with Nigeria, don't identify Nigeria. Let me just, there are so many Nigerians that are doing
well.
Just 2 days ago, a Nigerian was elected as the president of the Medical Association of Canada. The whole of Canada, a Nigerian. And there have been so many, even in the Britain where she is,
There are so many professors.
In the US,
so many professors.
So
in the UK,
so the fact remains is that let her continue on the trajectory she's going.
All right,
we have
a call.
Okay.
Julius from Valencia, Spain. Julius, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Let's talk.
I just want to add a little voice to what people are discussing.
Okay.
And, Nigeria is still one of the best nations who can make easy money. I know there are challenges. We have been here for more than 2 decades. So many of us that are here are planning on coming back home. So there is something I always say, everybody has a right to be wrong. So she is brilliant. We thank God for her life. But what she said is just something that is not supposed to be said. That we do is a billionaire. And you have bringing your country down when you made your billions. So everybody has had a very bad time in life, but we shouldn't allow it to get into us.
Okay.
And that's a big greater.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you people.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So as I'm landing, we are not saying that.
Yeah, just hold that thought, okay? Well, we need to pay some bills. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Still journalists Hangout.
Happy birthday to a true pathfinder. Happy birthday to my good friend and elder brother, Governor Hope Uzodimma of Imo State. On behalf of the people and government of Edo State, I wish you God's uncommon favor, protection, and good health. As chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, you have piloted the affairs of the body well, and I pray that God will continue to guide you. I wish you good health, more prosperous years on earth, and above all, may God give you the wisdom to continue to pilot the affairs of Imo State and continue to contribute your quota to the development of mankind and society in general. Happy birthday, Your Excellency. Signed, His Excellency Senator Monday Okbawulo, Edo State Governor.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still Journalist Hangout. I still have CK and Rai here and Asuko James. Just in 30 seconds. Rishi Sunak did not bring down India to become Prime Minister.
Yes.
But she might be the next Prime Minister.
Yes, she might be the next.
What is in it for Nigerians?
With her, nothing for us, as far as I'm concerned. Listen.
In 30 seconds.
I'm giving you, you've taken 10 seconds. We know how bad the situation is in Nigeria. We know our problem. There's no country in the world that doesn't have problems, including United. Somebody just shot the managing director of
United
Health in the US. So I will it because of that. I said that insecurity in the United States is this thing. No. We know our problem, but we don't need our own people to also go around there and be able to. So let her just continue with her trajectory. We are proud of her. We are proud of whatever she wants. If she doesn't want to identify one, we still have Okonjo Iweala and the rest of them.
Exactly.
So see, we have our problems. We know. Sure. Everybody knows that home is home. Exactly. Just like Julius said. Julius said one day he will come back home.
Exactly.
So there are so many Nigerians who are doing exploit. Even in the UK there, I know professors who are there doing it. I'm very sure they will be irritated with what she said.
Exactly.
You know? So let her continue. Our politics is for her. We wish her well, but Nigeria will still be the biggest black nation in the world.
Exactly. No one will take that from us. All right, let's move straight to our final conversation. Murphy's Law, which states that anything can go wrong will go wrong, appears to be taking root in Nigeria. The national grid has collapsed again, marking the 12th incident in 2024. Power outages have been reported across several parts in the country, plunging millions into darkness. This latest failure raises serious concerns about the country's power infrastructure and reliability. CKN, here we are again.
Yes, we are again.
Why is this so recurrent?
And it's not just the end of the year. And we had 12 hits. That is the worst we've had. There's never been any time that we've had 12 national grid collapse in 1 year. Never. Never in the history of Nigeria. And that was why, most often than not, we like passing buck, blames, and the rest of them. Okay. I personally will always say that if people at the helm of affairs don't know what they are doing, we should call them out. I personally believe, and one of them believe that the president didn't go the whole hog during the time of rejigging his ministerial...
Okay, the cabinet shake-up.
Yes. The current minister of power, Adelabu, shouldn't have been retained. That is, could have been sent to another ministry. That is my personal opinion. Is my personal opinion.
It about the person heading it or the entire ministry?
Listen. If anything happens in Nigeria today,
yes,
there's only one person that will be held responsible. Who is the person?
The president.
That's the president. So you don't tell me whether it's if you are given a job. If I've asked CKN today to come and head TVC, and I don't have the wherewithal, what will I do? It's only in Nigeria that people there's a minister that just resigned in UK, a lady, very, very popular lady. What did she do? It was because of there was something that happened. Just some years that before she became this thing, the woman honorably resigned. If it's in another country, I continue to use that word, where you have somebody, a minister, and the national grid had collapsed 12 times, he will resign in another country.
Honorably.
That's what I'm saying, honorably. If he's not going to resign, then there are some people that are working under him that are not doing the job, then fire them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the box stops on your table.
Don't you think the president still has faith in him to come through?
Is it the faith by having 12 collapses? Is the president not embarrassed? That we have not moved from 5,000 megawatts, we have not even reached 5,000 megawatts in the past 2 years that the president took over. More than that, that anytime we cross that threshold, it will collapse. Do you know how many businesses that have collapsed because of this? And this is the person that told us in the course of the year when he became that, we need to increase the tariffs because we are going to have improved power. The tariffs have been increased practically every month. So that is what I'm saying in essence. We know where the problem is. Then tell me, what has he done as a minister since he came? We know that the transmission lines are terrible. We know that the infrastructure we have on ground since 1960 need to be replaced. We know that most of the discos, Genscos, and the rest of them. In fact, there was a report I was reading this afternoon, which I cannot corroborate, so I cannot say it on where I heard that those in charge of gas have said that they should touch that because the discos or the Genscos are owing over 2 trillion naira. That has not been covered, but it is on media space now. So what I'm saying in essence is that if the minister cannot tell Nigerians why we're having this incessant collapse on it, it's not just collapsing. Go and check, go and do an inventory. How many household appliances have been destroyed by these collapses? You'll be shocked.
Exactly.
Go and check out how many businesses have also been. The prices of diesel, the prices of petrol is so high. That was time he told us that we have stable electricity, that we're no longer buying, people are no longer using generator. This was the same minister that told us that while we're having this, that we should be putting off our AC, putting off for goodness sake. What are we?
Asuko, my parents told me that one of the first things I said as a baby, Dada, Mommy,
was NEPA. And you are still saying it.
You're still saying it. I am close to 40 and I'm still saying up. In my generation, will we ever witness constant arson?
Well, it's going to be very difficult because there are so many dynamics. So the value chain, the chain in the power sector is massive.
He talked about replacing the minister.
Yes.
Is it about replacing the minister or?
No, but of course, when once a fish wants to rot in, it starts with the head.
Okay.
You understand? So you have to know that. So the minister has to get his skates on because we are tired of these collapses. When I was coming, there was even light in my area. So I'm not even expecting to see light when I get, because with this national, the power grid has collapsed now. It means that I'll be affected, And so it means businesses will also be affected.
Exactly.
Don't forget, petrol is 1,068 nairas in some places, 1,000. So businesses who have been managing to pay for band A and band B, they will now go back to generator. You understand? So all these things is like maybe the government, they need to sit down to begin to look at it. The economy is being affected.
A state of emergency in the sector.
There was remember the last time in October that we had collapses upon collapses.
Yes.
You understand? Within days, back to back, and then even the north, 17 states was without light.
Vandalization.
So, well, that one was vandalization. We know about that. He had a meeting. Yeah. What was the outcome of that meeting?
There was a report, concerning.
So after that, what happened?
What is this?
What happened?
What is it?
You understand? So the thing is, heads has to roll.
Heads have to roll.
Because if not, we will continue to have this power collapse, the national grid collapsing every time.
And you know why I'm saying this? Even within the government.
As you run.
Yes, within the government, we have seen shining examples. You know what is happening in the Ministry of Interior?
Exactly.
Do you know what it takes to get your passport? And I said it on this program about 3-4 months ago. I went to Abuja, and within 74 hours, I got my passport. 10 years passport. Go and look at what is happening in the aviation sector. I just came back some months back from outside the country, and you see the seamless system that we're having at the airport.
Anyway, thank you very much.
No, it's true.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the government had said they had a KPI for all the ministers.
Yes.
We need to see the result of the
KPI.
How did they mark
this?
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. CKN, appreciate you as always.
Thank you very much, Minga.
Asukwa James.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your submission as always. And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga Oreshegun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.
Amazing treats for everyone this holiday with Showmax. Celebrate like a champion with soccer.
Very well taken.
Find your festive inspo with our masters of style.
That's what I'm here for.
Embark on a fun-filled global adventure.
Here we go.
Share jollof moments with family and friends.
My son, the most handsome.
And enjoy some truly royal spoils.
I want the power to control what happens in my life.
Only on Showmax, because everyone deserves a holiday treat.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. At ShopX TV, our customers are the heart of everything we do. As a special thank you for your continued support, we are offering our customers 10% off on selected products. That's right, shop now and save big on some of your favorite items while stock lasts. Don't miss out on this opportunity to grab amazing products at unbelievable prices. First is our amazing 4-in-1 CookX blender. It's a food processor, a grinder, a blender, and a juicer all in one. The CookX 4-in-1 blender comes with 3 versatile cup sizes, each crafted to handle special tasks perfectly. Imagine effortlessly whipping up smoothies that are truly smooth, pounded yam and soups that are flawlessly pounded and blended. You would normally pay 189,950 Naira for the CookX 4-in-1 blender, but call the number on your screen right now or scan the QR code and get it for just 170,995 Naira. Incredible! And that's not all. You can get the CookX 4-in-1 blender in 2 easy payments of 85,498 Naira. That's right, pay twice to get this amazing cooking solution. And we are not done yet. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the ShopX Ultimate Crunch Exercise Machine. The 6-in-1 machine is designed to take your fitness to the next level. No need to worry about expensive gym fees. You can now work out from the comfort of your home and achieve results. With Ultimate Crunch cutting-edge technology, you can transform your body. Its enhanced features deliver a full body workout that's efficient, effective, and enjoyable. The secret is its advanced design that combines multiple exercise models into one unit. The versatile machine features adjustable resistance levels, an ergonomic design, and a built-in digital tracking system that displays speed, time, distance, and calories burned. From sculpting your abs to toning your legs, upper body, and strengthening your core, you would normally pay up to 449,950 Naira for the ShopX Ultimate Crunch. But for a limited time only, call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code and get the ShopX Ultimate Crunch at 404,955 Naira. Incredible! And that's not all. You can get the ShopX Ultimate Total Crunch in 2 easy payments of 202,478 Naira. That's right, Pay twice to get this amazing fitness solution. But hurry, limited stocks available. So call the number on your screen now or scan the QR code or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts.
The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news stories happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking.
Business lives on the fast track of numbers. Business is a strange world where low numbers mean something different. And its currency are speed and time. Finding the open doors of Main Street is not just good business. It's the start of the business. Join us every weekend on Business Week.
Thanks everyone for joining us on Beyond 100 Days. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. The conversation is ongoing on X at TVC News NG. Remember to tag at Nifemi Oguntoye and use Beyond #Beyond100 Days. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier has visited Nigeria as part of his 4-day visit to Africa. He will also travel to South Africa and Lesotho. He was received by President Bola Tinubu at the forecourt of the presidential villa to a guard of honor and also treated to the traditional gun salute exclusively reserved by visiting presidents and heads of government. President Steinmeier had earlier met with the economic community of West African states President Omar Toure, describing Nigeria and South Africa as two of the most important economic players on the African continent.
Facilitators, they're building bridges. The people who come to Germany to study return to Nigeria. They take their knowledge about Germany along and they become interlocutors for German companies, German cultural institutions in your country. So we're both interested in these people who can build bridges, and I hope that people and the young people in your country will remain interested in Germany.
While we equally promoting the possibility of alternative source of energy, we pride ourselves in the largest producer of gas in the country. What we need to do have been discussed, and we need to strengthen the partnership for utilization of LNG as a source of supply and promotion of additional incremental value in business opportunity for Nigeria and Germany.
We're turning our attention now to the Southeast, where the Southeast Development Commission and various appointments made by the president is concerned. Yesterday on the show, we had the APC National Vice Chairman Southeast, Dr. Ijoma Arodigbo, who voiced concerns regarding the composition of the commission's board and management, stating that the appointments did not align with the act that established the commission.
I'm the Southeast Chairman of the All Progressives Party, of the All Progressives Congress. And when the issue of Southeast Development Commission was raised, the stakeholders from the zone, myself, the National Deputy Chairman, Shifime Enuku, the governor of Imo State, the governor of Ebonyi State, and all the ministers from the Southeast met. And names were collected based on performance. With reference to the act establishing the commission. And according to the act, the chairman, in alphabetical order, will have to come from Abia State, the MD from Anambra State, and then the other three executive directors from the other three states of the Southeast, and then the members. And that was followed. The Abia State produced the chairman in the person of Emeka Atuma. Anambra State produced the MD. And the other three states in the zone produced the other directors. And this was according to the act establishing the commission, and in consultation with all the stakeholders, not just Hope Uzodimma. All the stakeholders met, and the names were collected. And
Dr. Jema Rodrigo is the National Vice Chairman of the APC Southeast. The Southeast Development Commission, among other things, we understand, will receive and manage funds from the allocation of the Federation account for the construction and rehabilitation of roads, houses, and other infrastructural damages suffered by the region as a result of the civil war. Let's get perception from the other side. Former Minority Leader of Abia State House of Assembly, Chijioke Chukwu, joins me on the program from our Abuja studio. Thank you for joining us this hour. The Southeast Development Commission has hardly kick-started before having its first challenge, and it has to do with the nomination of its governing board. The question some members of the APC are asking right now is, why jettison a list compiled by stakeholders from the zone for a new one?
Thank you very much. First, I want to thank the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCON, for the speedy assent of the Southeast Development Commission, and equally thank him for nominating credible persons into the board and membership of the commission. Like Dr. Aribu alleged, that a list was jettisoned, the list prepared by the stakeholders and the governor of Imo State, who we hold the highest esteem, is the leader of the APC in Southeast, the leader of APC governors in Southeast, and a leader we hold the highest esteem. But I want to debunk the tissues of lies dished out to all suspecting members of the public about the nominations made to the board of the Southeast Development Commission. First and foremost, I don't think Dr. Arodibu Ijoba is well informed about what the Act says about nominations to the board and membership of the Southeast Development Commission and other development commissions that is newly established in the country. The Act, Part 1, Section 2, and I read, it said the chairman, managing director, and 3 executive directors, before it was amended, that of the Southeast was amended to be 5 executive directors, and other members of the board shall, the emphasis is on that shall, be appointed by the president, subject to the confirmation of the Senate. And B, it says, it shall be person of proven integrity and ability. That is the word. Shall be appointed by the president. And I take exceptions
to allusions made by Dr. Arodewu Ijoma that the list prepared by the Southeast stakeholders was jettisoned. There is no place in the Act that says the president needs to consult the stakeholders, that the president needs to consult any of the Southeast governors before.
Hold on, Honorable.
His nominations.
I get your point very clearly, but there's also no place in that act that says that Mr. President cannot make due consultation before appointing. Can you hear me, Honorable? There's no place in that act that also stated clearly that Mr. President cannot make due consultation before making appointments. It's the Southeast. He doesn't live there, so I expect that he would make consultation before making his appointment. He can't just make up the names in his mind. The list, according to the vice chairman of your party, the initial list, according to him, was signed by the vice chairman, the national deputy chairman, governors of Imo, Ebonyi. According to him, there are also all the ministers from the zone also signed this particular list. You don't consider these individual stakeholders whose recommendations should carry weight for the commission?
Well, every stakeholder carries weight. I am the former minority leader of the Abia State House of Assembly, and I've talked to most of the stakeholders from Abia State and other states. I don't think there was any meeting of stakeholders or any consultations made that a certain particular list should be forwarded to the president for onward transmission to the Senate for confirmation as the members of the Southeast Development Commission. What should bother Southeasterners is the people appointed, are they men of proven integrity? The answer is yes. Are they people who have capacity? Because it's a new development commission. What we should be thinking is people who have the capacity, who has the intellectual depth, who has the proven integrity and track record to drive this development commission to give Southeast the needed development. Southeast that have been bedeviled by kidnapping, by agitations, separatist agitations for a very long time now, over a decade.
All right.
I want to ask
Honorable Chuku.
Somebody in the capacity of the chairman, a former minister, a two-time member of the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, and the Director of Finance. I can mention so many of them. Go and look at the MD. The president has looked beyond premonderant sentiment and parochial interests to appoint people
Honorable Chuku, hold that thought for a minute.
And have the capacity.
Let us take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us, everyone.
Happy birthday to a true pathfinder. Happy birthday to my good friend and elder brother, Governor Hope Uzodimma of Imo State. On behalf of the people and government of Edo State, I wish you God's uncommon favor, protection, and good health. As chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, you have piloted the affairs of the body well, and I pray that God will continue to guide you. I wish you good health, more prosperous years on earth, and above all, may God give you the wisdom to continue to pilot the affairs of Imo State and continue to contribute your quota to the development of mankind and society in general. Happy birthday, Your Excellency. Signed, His Excellency Senator Monday Okbawulo, Edo State Governor.
We're discussing controversies rocking the Southeast Development Commission. Chijioke Chukwu is former minority leader, Abia State House of Assembly. Honorable, thank you for staying the course on the program. I hear you say that competence matter in the choice of Mr. President's appointment, but the claim is that Imo and Ebonyi states have been excluded against the provision of the Act. So according to the disgruntled members of your party. The initial list had Abia producing the chairman, Anambra producing the MD, and the other 3 states producing the directors, according to what they say was the provision of the act, and in consultation with all the stakeholders. In this new list, they say Abia now has chairman and executive director of finance. Anambra produced MD and ED corporate services, leaving out Imo and Ebonyi states. You don't think that is unfair?
That is not true. I don't think you have gone through the list submitted by the president to the Senate. That is another lies. Dr. Ijoma Arodigbu want to handwick the unsuspecting members of the public to buy into, because he cannot see beyond personal selfish interests. I think what should bother the Southeast now is unity among the component states. What should bother the APC is how to forge a way forward to provide a united front and ensure that the APC, the All Progressive Congress, as a party, get rooted in the Southeast, which is why the president, I think in his wisdom, has opened new frontiers. If you look at the members of the Southeast Development Commission, it cuts across all the states, from Imo to Ebonyi. I'm going to list them and I'll tell you the states where they are coming from. And
no, you don't have to. I understand that there's a chairman.
No. In Imo, no state, was excluded.
Hold on for a minute. I understand that there are members of board, but I'm referring to the chairman, the MD, and the executive directors. Was Imo and Ebonyi
executive directors
in these 5 positions?
No, there is Dr. Chris Ogbede, the executive director, Agric and Natural Resources. He's from Gokbala. He's my personal friend. I just finished talking with him before coming to this studio. And if you go to Ebonyi, a very competent Ebonyi indigene, Dr. Anthony Agbo, who was the former speaker of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, and the distinguished senator of no mean repute, was appointed from Ebonyi State as executive director of infrastructural services. It's unfortunate that I want to make a point. If Dr. Arodigbu, as the vice chairman Southeast, does not know members of the party of this status, then it is not befitting for him to be retired.
I hear you, Honorable. We don't have all the time on this
local
side
government,
as well. So it's important that I bring you...
chairman from Abia.
Hold on for a minute, Honorable. The doctor also alleged that this list included the chief of staff of both the deputy speaker and the Senate president, what he calls a big slap on the zone. In fact, he alleged that 5 of Honorable Benjamin Kalu's personal staff were nominated on the board, including the chairman, the executive director of finance. There's a long list here, including some board members, executive director of projects, and 7 chief of staff to the deputy speaker. The accusation really here is that the deputy speaker wants to hijack the commission and treat it like a private company. So he's written a letter to Mr. President, and in that letter, it was quoted to have said, it's okay to appoint your personal staff in different organizations, but having 5 of your personal staff that receive salary from your office in one organization is as good as having a family of 6 run a government agency. How do you react to that?
That is why I say Dr. Arodigbu is my elder brother and a more senior person to me. If not, I would have called him a liar outrightly. But what he has fed to the media is not true. I know Stanley Ohajiruka, a former speaker of Abia State House of Assembly, and the 3-time acting governor of Abia State is not a personal staff of the deputy speaker. I can confidently tell you that. If it's a personal staff or an SA, let him provide his appointment letter and his pay slip. I can equally tell you that Dr. Emeka Wogu is not a personal aide of the deputy speaker. If he says it is true, let him provide his appointment letter and his salary, evidence of his salary from National Assembly. So for somebody of Arodigbu's standing to come and mislead the public and feed people with blatant lies capable of causing disaffection among the Southeasterners does not speak well of somebody of his repute. And I want to tell you one thing, go to the bank with this. Southeasterners are very, very happy because this is one appointment that cut across party lines from Anambra to Enugu to Ebonyi, and it brought people that has competence, capability, and the reach to develop the region. We are not talking about using personal aids that does not have the capacity, that does not have the intellectual ability, that does not have the reach to take off a commission that Southeasterners have yearned for, cried for over 54 years, which the president, his own gracious goodwill, has graciously, without so much struggle, given to Southeasterners. Southeasterners are happy. Go and check from Imo to Abia to Anambra to Ebonyi. People are happy. Go and look at the capacity and capability and the profile of the MD of that Southeast Development Commission. You will know that the president has made the right choice.
I hear you clearly. That's our time. We're going to have to continue this conversation subsequently. I understand that you're also a representative on the North East Development Commission. We'll talk about that subsequently if we have the time. But we have to go now. Former Minority Leader, Abia State House of Assembly, Chijioke Chukwu, thank you for talking to us on the program this evening.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always my pleasure. Thank you.
We're turning our attention now to what appears an update on the ongoing legal battle with lawyer Dele Farotimi. So what you know prior to this time is the highly publicized case that he had with the prominent lawyer Afe Babalola. Another prominent lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Adebayo Adenipekun, has now filed a lawsuit against the human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi, and this one is happening at the Oyo State High Court in Ibadan. It's the latest twist to the ongoing challenge he currently has with some legal luminaries. I'm joined by the senior advocate, Adebayo Adenipekun. Thank you for joining us on the program, senior advocate. What has Farotimi done again this time?
I'm sorry, you are talking to a wrong person. This is not Bayo Adenipekun. It's Chief Adeni Akintola. Let's see.
Oh, please pardon me, Senior Advocate Akintola. What do you think is the update in this regard? What has he done this time to another senior advocate?
Well, I wouldn't know, but if the perception of the members of the bar, especially the senior ones, is anything to go by, I think the book written by Farotimi is beyond Chief Abe Babalola. It is a book that targeted an entire institution, and of course the legal profession as a whole. So I'm not surprised that many lawyers are now coming up to take out action against him, and I believe many more are still coming. So, but on a personal note, I wouldn't know the exact reason. I know the book itself libeled many people, but I wouldn't know because I've not seen the processes filed by Chief Bayo Adenipekun, Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
I'm sure that you're also following closely what appears the reaction from the public as regards this case. His current case before the Ekiti State Court has now been adjourned by the Magistrate Court to 20th December. We saw him on handcuff, and some have questioned whether or not a defamation case is a criminal one and why it's taken this way and manner. Some have even gone to say, doesn't this corroborate some of the claims he's made in the book?
Well, everybody is entitled to his or her own opinion. But speaking as a lawyer, because like that versatile journalist, Dr. Rebun Abati, put it yesterday, it's over the matter. Quite a number of people have carpenters, mechanics, all sorts of people have been making legal comments on, even people who don't really know anything about the matter or the legal implications of the book. So one cannot grudge anybody for making a comment. But speaking as a lawyer, I know that quite a number of misconceptions have been out there from the people.
What do you consider?
Because people don't appreciate the implication of the book, and they don't even know what they call criminal libel and civil libel. So the two can go pari passu. Some even went to the essence of saying the court have the decision because of their ignorance. They just keep on exhibiting their ignorance out there.
So as a lawyer, I'm wondering what you consider the thin line, because it appears to be a very thin line between freedom of speech and a libelous act.
Well, your freedom stops where mine starts. That's what people don't know. And there is no freedom anywhere in the world that is absolute. There are limitations to even constitutional freedom.
We may have lost connection with the senior advocate, Neya Akintola. We're going to continue this conversation subsequently, especially following the latest update in this regard. Senior advocate Neya Akintola, thank you so much for joining us on the program this evening. That's the show today. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.
Sometimes it's the story that calls. At other times, the people just want to be heard.
School, I need students, but I need teachers.
Can't continue like this.
Their voices re-echoing through time itself.
We haven't done anything. If the tide is high, everybody run for safety.
Their tears leave a sweet, sour taste for all their demands. A familiar call beckoning for change. In our world, no one expects a disaster to happen. But when it does, we'll be there to x-ray all sides, from the east to the west, north and south. Community Forum will examine the oddities and challenges to economic development, as well as issues yearning for government intervention. Watch fresh episodes of Community Forum on Sundays by 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
Good governance at any level is characterized by 4 pillars: transparency, accountability, fairness, and responsibility. The Seyi Makinde-led administration since inception has upheld all these traits, making life more meaningful for the people of Oyo State. Resting on the 4 pillars of the administration, which includes education, health, security, and expansion of the economy through agribusiness, the people have continued to feel the impact of good governance. On Oyo Update, you'll be opportune to see how far the Seyi Makinde government has brought governance to every doorstep across the state. Join us weekly at this time for insightful moments on your state, setting the pace.
Welcome to the transformative journey of Gombe State. Like a beautiful bride in the savannah, Gombe State is steadily growing to become a commercial and investment hub, with accelerated development of world-class infrastructure, quality education, and healthcare. The jewel in the savannah, under the visionary leadership of Governor Inuwa Yahaya, is taking giant strides in the quest to making Gombe State a paradise in Nigeria's northeast region. Join us on this adventure every Thursday by 3:30 p.m. as we explore Gombe's transformative journey to greatness.
Voted as the best TV station of the year, TVC News breaks into the core of every event as they happen. Following all nationwide big and impactful stories, without the news from every perspective, covering every human angle. I am Veronica, bringing you the news you would want to watch.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Honey, what time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair, and accurate. TVC News.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Who are those behind the Impact and Inspire Foundation? For the purpose of this story, we will identify two persons. One, the founder of the organization, Mrs. Jacobs, who beneficiaries call Mommy, and Mr. Ola, a representative of the NGO in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. Impact and Inspire Wuraola Foundation is a Nigerian non-governmental organization based in the United Kingdom. It was established in 2014 and duly registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria. From its Instagram page, you will see a big display of goodwill for the correctional service, old people, widows, and orphans in need of shelter and educational support. And that was what they offered to these young teenagers at the time.
I came across them through a friend. I usually go to his place to make use of their computer system. Due to the fact that my dad died, so I stopped working. I had to come back home to stay for my mom and my younger siblings.
I met them April 2022 during one of their youth programs. I went there with my neighbor, who is a friend to Mr. Ola Jason. She took me and some other students to that place. So it was there I met Mrs. Wola Williams.
So while I used to go there, he advised me to try to apply for a job there that they need workers to help them in their IT section, which I did. So he placed me on a call to Wuraola, that's Miss Wuraola, and we talked. From the onset, from when we started talking, she showed them her approval that she likes me and would like to work with me.
Then I said the only way I can get the scholarship is by coming to work in their foundation, which is at Ikotun, Impact and Inspire Foundation. So my family agreed. They said they will give me accommodation and they will take care of the feeding and my transportation. There was a lot of agreements, both on salary, the scholarship, everything. But the issue was that the agreements were never written down. It was a verbal agreement and the promises too. So that was one of the reasons I even had interest in working with the organization.
Olaoluwa Lawrence is third among 7 children. His one-time sweet relationship with a woman beneficiaries call Mommy has cast his dark shadow on a promising future he once had. When a non-governmental organization, Impact and Inspire Wuraola Foundation, offered him a job as an IT manager with promises of a scholarship, it seemed like the breakthrough he needed.
I heard at the end of the NGO had supported him with payment of school fees for one of the sessions, about 65,000, and that there was a possibility that they could give further support. So he applied for their scholarship, and when it was time for him to pay the next school fees, I heard that they did not pay.
It was not the only one that was promised. 20-year-old Chinyere was also promised all of the goodies. But can the love and quest for education turn into a nightmare, like it did for these two?
I worked here for like 7 months without getting paid, even with the allowances, the remaining one. I didn't receive any allowance or anything. I did not have any problem with that. Even with that, I was still working. I never stopped working. I never stopped going to the office.
Staying there was not easy because even the food that they promised, that everything this, that, we didn't even sit. Sometimes to feed was not easy. On the day of payment of salary, the woman slashed everybody's salary.
After working for the organization for about 7 months, Samuel Lawrence got a contract job at another company. Thinking it was good news, he shared with the money at the organization, but that piece of information wasn't received well enough. That's when the stack of cards and trust fell apart for both parties.
One day, the Olajesi of Ghana called me that he wants me to leave the house, this and that. And I said, but the scholarship people showed everybody, social media, WhatsApp, 500,000, 200,000. I've not even gotten it.
This happened in October 2022. For Ms. Chinyere, she was offered 2 scholarships by the NGO, 500,000 naira for university education and 200,000 naira for computer training. However, only 26,000 naira was paid to the computer school she attended. What's more alarming is that Chinyere was asked to pose with a plaque of a university she had not